The fog hung heavy over Baker Street, swirling around the gas lamps like a ghostly shroud. Inside 221 BE, Sherlock Holmes sat hunched over his microscope, his long, thin fingers delicately manipulating a tiny object. Dr. Watson, his ever-faithful companion, observed with a mixture of curiosity and amusement. "Another curious case, Holmes?" Watson inquired, settling into his armchair. Holmes looked up, his eyes gleaming with an intensity that always preceded a challenging investigation. "Indeed, Watson. A most perplexing affair. A young lady, Miss Violet Cavendish, has come to me seeking my assistance. Her father, a renowned art collector, has been found murdered in his own gallery." "And what manner of death?" Watson asked, intrigued. "A single, perfectly placed dart, Watson." "A most unusual weapon, don't you agree?" Watson nodded, his brow furrowed. "Indeed. Who would possess such a weapon, and what motive could they possibly have?" Holmes tapped his long fingers on the table, his mind already racing. "The gallery, Watson. It is a treasure trove of rare and valuable antiquities. Egyptian artifacts, Greek sculptures, even a rumored cursed Aztec idol. Each piece a potential motive for murder." Over the next few days, Holmes delved into the case with his characteristic fervor. He meticulously examined the crime scene, interviewed the gallery staff, and scrutinized the social circles of the deceased. He discovered a web of intrigue, a jealous rival, a disgruntled employee, and a mysterious stranger who had been seen lurking near the gallery in the days leading up to the murder. One evening, Holmes summoned Watson to 221B. "I believe I have found our culprit, Watson," he announced, his voice triumphant. "A most unexpected individual." "And who might that be, Holmes?" Watson asked, eager to hear his friend's deductions. Holmes produced a small, intricately carved wooden figurine from his pocket. "This, Watson, is the key to the mystery. It's an Aztec idol, a replica of the one rumored to be cursed. And it belonged to Miss Cavendish herself." Watson stared at the figurine, bewildered. "But why, Holmes? Why would Miss Cavendish kill her own father?" Holmes smiled, a mischievous glint in his eyes. "Jealousy, Watson. Miss Cavendish was in love with a man who was infatuated with her father's collection. To gain his attention, she resorted to a desperate act." The following day, Holmes presented his findings to the police. Miss Cavendish, confronted with the evidence, confessed to the crime. The case was closed, and justice was served. As they walked back to 221BE, Watson remarked, "You never cease to amaze me, Holmes. Your powers of observation and deduction are truly extraordinary." Holmes smiled modestly. "It is simply a matter of observation, Watson, and a little bit of imagination." And so, another case was solved, another mystery unraveled by the incomparable Sherlock Holmes, the greatest detective the world had ever known.